Hi everyone, it's Eleana here from Lavinia Stamps Design Team. Thank you for joining me today, and I would like to share with you how I made this card, Two in a Boat. For this I'm going to be using the new stamps from the Woodland Waterside collection, and it is a fabulous collection and I've really enjoyed using them to make this card. So let's talk about what we're going to need. For the background, I'm going to be using Dylusion Ink Spray Vanilla Custard just to do the middle of the card. Then I'm going to use Blue Lagoon to go next to Vanilla Custard. Then London Blue just to do the edge of the card. For the water and the land and for the colouring, I'm going to use Inktense pencils. I only got these at Christmas, but I have really enjoyed using them on this card. For stamping with, we're going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne, Bluebell, and then Rainforest. Posca pens, a yellow, ivy, just to do some details around the card. White gel pen, silver glitter pen, and a black glaze pen just to do the holes on the buttons. I'm going to be using the small moon mask to do my moon, and I'm going to use Distress Oxide Faded Jeans to blend with. Distress Oxide Black Soot just to blend around the edge of the card. I'm also going to be using some Titanium White Pan Pastel just to whiten up my moon. So for the stamps, we're going to be using Liberty. Isn't that a beautiful stamp? It really is. I love it. English Bluebell, a lovely stamp as well. And these two cute little characters, Millie and Munch. Aren't they adorable? I can see they are going to get up to a lot of mischief with everyone, and I love using those two. Bellflower Vine, another fabulous stamp that can be used for many cards, for many things like weddings and birthdays and stuff. I'm also going to be using Single Fairy Thistle just to use the top to add some interest to my ground. So let's get started. I have a piece of A5 card inside my inking folder. Just going to shake up my Dylusion Ink Vanilla Custard. So just giving that a shake, and then I'm going to spritz it coming down the middle of the card. Then I'm going to use Blue Lagoon, just giving that a shake and then spritzing that coming down both sides of this yellow vanilla custard. Then I'm using London Blue, shake up and then spritzing it down the side. And I'm just going to go back with the Blue Lagoon just to come down this side a bit more. Spritzing it with some water and then closing, then placing another piece of A5 card on top of my ink, creating like an ink sandwich. Giving this rub, just using a piece of cloth just to help move that ink around. And then I'm just going to do it once more on the inside. And then open it up. And there we have our backgrounds. So I'm using the other piece from when I did the background with the Dylusion Ink Spray. So I'm going to use my stamping platform. And now I've got Liberty, the new stamp from Lavinia Stamps from the Woodland Waterside collection. So I'm just going to position that, I think, in the middle. And now I'm going to stamp it in VersaFine Clear Nocturne. So I'm going to ink this up. Pressing it down. And there we have Liberty. So I'm going to be using some of these lovely Inktense pencils. And I've made myself a colour chart. So I'm just going to pop that on my stamping platform so I know what colours we have. And now I'm just going to create my water. So I'm just going to gently colour here. And just bringing this down. Then using the sea blue. So I just use a bit of sea blue. And then I'm going to use deep indigo just for the bottom here. And then I'm going to use field green just for this bottom part down here. So I'm just going to put this green down here at the bottom, and we're going to see what happens when we start to colour with this. So I'm just building up a bit of colour. So with my brush, I'm just going to pick up some water, dab it, and then I'm just going to colour this in. Just blend where I've done the green. And then I'm just going to work on where this blue is. So I'm just blending it all in. Oh, nicely, and just moving this ink around. Just blending it all. Just blend it all. And I'm just going to blend this around here. So just blend it, and I'm just going to turn my card round just so that I can blend a bit easier. So I'm just going around here, just blending it all nice and gently. And seeing what happens. And then I'm just going to blend this into it all. Just keep blending because there's a lot of ink on here. So I'm just going to blend that and then give it a dry with the heat gun. And then I'm going to go back with the bright blue and just quickly colouring around this section, and then again dabbing it in and then just blending it all, so I can just get this blue going. We're just getting this going, and then again on the other side, just getting this blue going. Just going to turn it around and just ink this up, blend all of this around, blend it. We just need this down here, so I'm just going to blend that all nicely together. And then I'm just going to use the white pencil just to create a bit of water. Then just going back to the bright blue and just building up some of this water. And then we just want to dab off the brush and then just sort of like blend this into areas, because I don't want it a solid blue, so I'm just roughly blending this. You just keep working on it and blending this. Then giving it a dry. I'm just going to use some yellow just in this middle bit of Liberty. So I'm just going to colour that yellow. Then I'm going to use this apple green colour just to come at this side and a bit round here. So I'm just going to pull that out and then use this leaf green at the top. So we're just going to use that at the top and bring that colour down. Back to the apple green and just blending this through. Then back to the sun yellow and just blend that. And then with a bit of water, dabbing off the excess, and we're just going to gently blend all of this. So we're just going to blend this down. So we get a nice bit of blending. So dabbing off the excess, bringing this leaf down, and just blending this together. And just bringing it all together. So I'm just bringing this down. And I think we're going to have some nice orange buttons on it. So I'm just going to colour these in. And again, with the brush, just blending this all in. So we're just going to blend. And blend this one. And blend this. Then give this a dry. Then I'm going to use this apple green just to do the leaves in. So just a little bit coloured over. And then using my brush, dabbing off the excess, and we're just going to blend all of that in. So there we have. Now I'm going to be using Bell Flower Vine, and I'm just going to stamp this on the edge, and again just staying to the nocturne and just pressing that down. and then a bit more on the other side. So I think we're just going to have it there. Just damping this up. And then going back to the apple green just to do the leaves. And a bit of water just to get this colour going. And just taking your time just to blend all of this in. And now I'm just going to use the orange on here just for the flower. So I'm just colouring this in with tangerine, a nice bright orange. And then just blending it. Just going to use a bit of Distress Oxide Faded Jeans. So with my brush, I'm just going to pick up some of that ink, blend it on my glass mat, and then just gently blend it around the moon. I'm going to just keep doing that until you're happy. So I'll just keep blending. And just bring this colour just around the edge a bit. So we're just building that up. And I'm just going to flick a bit more out. Just going to gently little bit of shadow using a bit of water just to make that shadow, and then just blending that in with it all. Just going to use a bit of pan pastels just to make the moon a bit whiter. So I'm just going to come round the edge of the moon and just blend that in. So we're just blending that gently. There we go. So just blending all of that nicely. Just going to use this single fairy thistle just to stamp. So I'm going to use Rainforest. I'm just going to pick it up and just stamp these randomly just on the grass. Just going to use a silver sparkling pen just to do some little dots just in this corner, and just like a few over the top, so you're like making an arch. An ivy Posca pen just to gently come up the bluebells just by doing some tiny little dots, and then just doing some along the ground. Then just using the black just to come underneath the buttons like so, and just round the top part as well. underneath and over the top. And now I'm just going to go back to my brush, taking off the excess, and just gently pull this colour around. So we just want these buttons to stand out. Just going to position that just so that I pick up the leaves. So if I just stamp this, and hopefully and then I'll go back over using this apple green just to colour that in. And I'll just make these a little brighter by going over them again. I'm just going to go back to my Ivy Posca pen, and I'm just going to do some dots at the end of these twirly bits. And there's the finished card. Thank you for joining me for today's video tutorial, and I hopefully will see you soon. Take care and bye for now. Bye!